I 62M, met my wife 62F, 11 years ago. We were both divorced and hit it off well, and after 5 years of dating, we tied the knot. She was a teacher for 25 years in Illinois and retired in 2013, the year we started dating due to conflicts with administration. She was married to an alcoholic gambler and lost everything, even cashing in her pension trying to save the house, and came into the marriage with nothing. To me, my friends, family and neighbors, she was a retired teacher who married badly. I just learned from impeccable sources that she was never a teacher, but did work at the school. All the videos and pictures she sent were from indoor recesses in actual classrooms. All the struggles in getting her teaching certificate was a lie. All the parent-teacher conferences she told me about never happened. All the plays and recitals she described in such detail were lies. All the stories about troubled kids she got close to were lies. She's been letting everyone believe this for 11 years. I don't know what to make of this. I feel like I don't even know this woman. What else is a lie? I'm financially secure and she had nothing. Does she love me or the security? Now it makes sense that she has zero school friends or colleagues. You think that after 25 years at the same school in the same grade there would be some solid friendships, but there are none. Her slightly disabled daughter lives with us full-time. She works, but she'll never have a career that would support her. If we divorce, they both screwed. I feel I have to know the truth, even though this information was given to me by two separate people who were very close to her. Is there a database that would list school personnel from Illinois for update? My wife had an abusive first marriage. I seen the pictures and the police reports. I also seen her school badge. The fact that she was and a teacher is and the worst thing. I would and have cared, but the fact that she kept it up the entire dating marriage is bothersome. I a recovering alcoholic and I told her everything, a lot of it I not proud of. I been sober for 27 years. Lost everything and have made a pretty good comeback. I may have mixed up some years. She was an active school employee when we first started dating in 2013, and probably left the school in 2015. I know I did the stormy thing the second year into the relationship. She got the house in the divorce. She did tell me she cashed in her entire pension to try and save it, but by then it had been refinanced so deep it had more debt than it was worth, and the bank foreclosed. I helped her get into a house rental. She got another job closer to me, and moved into my apartment in 2017. In 2023 my wife started drawing on her ex-pension, which is $600 a month. Like I said, I made a pretty good comeback and was blessed with parents who did even better. Cashing in some gifting that I received over the years, I bought a condo, and she and her daughter moved in. The daughter had been verbally and physically abused also, and was a shell of a person. She really taken to me, and has told me I'm more of a father than her bio dad ever was. I get Father Day cards addressed to dad from both her kids. The son fucked up a couple times, and actually picked up a couple felonies. He did 6 months in 2023, and when he could and find a job, I told everything to HR, and because of my reputation, got him in at my company. He doing great there, and appreciates the help. He not unintelligent, just does really stupid shit. The past year we been having some pretty bad fights, nothing physical, but a lot of cussing and stuff like that. It used to only happen when her daughter was at home, but not anymore. She used to drink a little, which we used to argue about, but now she become a regular drinker, and that when the shit really hits the fan and things get ugly. This Thursday, I could sense a brew up coming, so I left to cool down. When I got back 2 hours later, she was gone and both kids were still at our place. I apologized for walking out, and that I don't like them to see this. The son comes over a couple times a week, and Thursday he was doing laundry. He went down to change loads, and the daughter 30F told me. Yes, her own daughter told me, because she was tired of seeing me treated like shit after everything I done for them. I was stunned. When son came back up, I asked if it was true, and he said it was. They both knew, but were sworn to secrecy. When I said I can't take this anymore, both of them said they would and blame me for calling it quits. My wife has rheumatoid arthritis, very aggressive, and has had multiple surgeries on both hands and feet, with more to come. She can type, write or stand for long periods, so she has zero income. She applied for disability, and she working with a disability attorney, but who know if or when that would come through. The daughter kicks in $500 a month. To be honest, I been miserable for the past 3 years. She on some serious medication, and the person who always saw the best in everyone and any situation has become a mean, bitter person. Nothing at all like the one I met and married. She has lost her lust for life, and is severely depressed because she really has nothing. No career, no IRA, no family. I took the verbal abuse, because she has nowhere to go, and no way to pay for it. I was in the same position 27 years ago and thought I was doing the right thing. This revelation on top of everything else has pushed me to my end. I hate to push her out, but my sanity is at stake here. I got my own demons I fighting every single day. My job is high pay, but that comes with high stress and responsibilities. I can function getting to sleep at 1 a.m. and waking up at 6. There was a pretty big fuck up at work this week, on a project that I had. Not really my fault, but had I been more on top of things, I would have caught it before we pulled the trigger on mass production. I think I need to take care of me now. I 62, make over 100k, no debt, and mid 7 figures in my accounts. I should be living my best life, but I hate every day. My dad died of a heart attack at 64. And I 2 years away from that milestone. I going to wait it out until disability comes through, then file for divorce. Estimated SSI is around $1,800 a month. That plus the $600 from the ex-pension plus the daughter pay should get them something. Certainly not the lifestyle they accustomed to, but survivable. The vast majority of my net worth is from an inheritance, which is not marital property. If SSI DOES and come through, I'll offer up a couple $100,000 in cash, then try to move on. The daughter DOES and deserve this, but I they're not my problem mode now. Neither of them will fault me.
Second story.
I have a deep suspicion that there is something weird going on between my husband and my best friend Maria. My husband feels I am just seeing things and is mad at me that I do not trust him enough. Please tell me if what is going on is just in my head, or if you also find the situation from last weekend suspicious. Maria and I have been best friends since college. She has always been very outgoing, while I am more of an introvert. Maria was always a bit promiscuous and loved drama. She had a lot of boyfriends hookups in college. She is also very beautiful and I always felt invisible when I was around her. I have weight issues. I always felt overshadowed by her. I was always very shy and my husband was the first person I ever dated. Maria always teased me that I had only been with one guy in my life. As we have grown older, Maria is still to be in a real long-term relationship. I feel that things have reversed now, and she keeps on telling me how lucky I am to have such an ambitious and reliable husband by my side. Around 6 months ago, my husband came to me and told me that he felt Maria was trying to flirt with him. He does not like Maria but tolerates her for me. During one of the dinner parties, Maria was acting very flirty around my husband. She was just laughing extra loudly at all his jokes, complimenting his fitness, and touching him on the shoulders and arms. My husband told me that he felt uncomfortable with her behavior and asked me to talk to Maria. I was pissed off and talked to Maria. She got angry at me and said that she had known my husband for over a decade. He is like a brother to her. She felt my husband was trying to destroy our friendship because he did not like her. I felt she was genuine and let it go. Maria soon joined our gym because she wanted to take yoga classes with me. However, she spent more time in the weights room where my husband is. Again, my husband made comments about how she is always half naked in the gym and asked him to spot her. Maria complained that my husband is being rude and unhelpful to her. I again took her side and told my husband to be helpful and nice to her, as she is my best friend. My husband said he would make more effort. I slowly started seeing them getting more and more friendly and working out together. I wanted to be cool, but I felt jealous. So now to what happened last weekend. Maria invited a bunch of her friends for a birthday party at her apartment. There were 7 guests there, including my husband and I. Maria kept on pushing tequila shots on all of us. Eventually, most of us got drunk. Maria was sitting next to my husband and was being very flirty with him, but I could see my husband not reciprocating, so didn't care. Maria insisted we stay back at her place, and my husband and I slept in the guest bedroom. The other 3 guests, who were her co-workers, 1 guy and 2 girls, crashed on the sofas in the living room. I was drunk and the last thing I remember was my husband bringing me to the guest room. When I woke up in the middle of the night, I was alone in bed. I could hear some moaning noises from outside. I quickly started looking for my phone in the dark. In the process, I dropped something from the nightstand on the floor. This noises stopped and I heard a door open and close outside. I quickly got up to see where my husband was. When I reached the hallway, I saw my husband, just in his jeans with no shirt on. I asked him where he was, and he said he went to the restroom and asked if I was okay. I said yes, and he came and slept next to me. He was sweaty. I told him about the moaning noises, and he said he also heard the same when he went to the restroom but thought they were coming from the living room. He is still angry at me, that I can accuse him of something so horrible, and has told me that if I am really that insecure, I should cut off my friendship with Maria. He also told me that he was never going to be in the same room as Maria ever again. I have no idea what to do. On one hand, I know my husband would never cheat on me, but it's just impossible to get the doubts out of my head. I keep on picturing my husband and Maria together in her bed. Am I the asshole to confront my husband and accuse him of cheating, just because of what I saw, and not having any real proof? How do I know what happened? If I confront Maria and accuse her, she is also going to be equally mad at me. I don't know her co-worker friends well enough to trust what they say. I just feel stupid for trying to push for friendship between my husband and Maria. Please help. Update 1. A lot happened during the last month, and my mental health is at its lowest due to the betrayals. However, I think I now know what happened that night. I am sorry for the long post. So, the day after my husband and I stayed at Maria's house for her birthday party, I was unable to shake the feeling that something happened between them. I am not proud, but I checked my husband's phone and all his messaging apps. I only found a brief chat between my husband and Maria on Facebook Messenger. Maria thanked my husband for coming to her birthday party and for such a great night. She sent him a photo of them hugging at the end of the night after I was asleep. My husband told Maria that I suspected that something happened between them and asked her to talk to me. Maria told him that she would talk to me. Maria called me the next day and told me that I was crazy and she would never think of doing such a thing to me. She sounded convincing, but I just couldn't shake the good feeling that something happened. I told her why I suspected them, and she called me crazy and that my head was making up stuff that did not exist. I also mentioned that I saw her photo with my husband after I was asleep and she should have kept her distance from him. I decided to distance myself from her, as I no longer trusted her as a friend. We also changed the times we went to the gym so that we don't run into her. After a week or so, she messaged my husband on Facebook Messenger that they should tell me the whole truth. My husband kept on asking her what she was talking about, but she kept on telling him that she felt guilty. My husband came to me and told me that Maria is sending messages to him and he is not sure what she is inferring. He kept on assuring me that nothing happened between them that night. I told him that I read their secret chats on Facebook Messenger. He gaslighted me, calling me insecure and that Maria was trying to play with my head. I finally decided to go to Maria's house and asked her what was going on. Maria initially kept on saying that she did not want to talk about it. However, finally, she broke down and told me what happened. She told me that during the night of the birthday party, my husband kept on staring at her. After they realized I was too drunk, he took me to the bedroom and again went back to the living room. At this point, he was sitting next to Maria and kept on touching her legs playfully. Maria was also very drunk and they decided to call it a night in 30 minutes. Maria said that my husband followed her to her room and he started undressing her and they were intimate together. She told me that she was too drunk to consent to anything and felt like he SA her. She kept quiet to keep peace, but it was bugging her from inside. I asked her if she was sure as she was too drunk that night, and she said that although she was drunk she remembers all the details. I confronted my husband, but he still kept on telling me that what he was telling was the truth, and Maria never liked him and was playing me for a fool. He was so angry at me that he left the house and is currently living in a hotel nearby. He keeps on calling me and asking me to trust him, but I don't know how I can trust him now. I never expected him to do such a thing. Maria has also been trying to talk to me and asking me to be there to support her. However, I do not know if I can look at either one of them. I am just going to try and cope with the situation and plan to go and live with my parents for a few days until my husband and I agree about our future. I know you all thought I was crazy in the previous post, but I knew in my gut that something was wrong, and never expected my life to suddenly come to this point. Update 2. I initially did not know who to believe and thought my friend was telling the truth. My husband was upset that I did not trust him and left the house to stay at a hotel. After posting the update, I read the comments until 4 a.m. and cried uncontrollably. I let my insecurities and crazy trust Maria when it was clear that my husband was telling the truth. Sorry for the long post. You helped me so much and might have saved my life. For the few people who DM me vile messages, I am mentally unstable. But that does not mean I need to end my life. I was not always insecure. When I met my husband a decade ago, we were both overweight. He never cared about my weight as long as I was happy. A year before we married, I had an idea where we lose weight before our wedding date. He took his fitness seriously and lost 40 pounds that year, while I was not disciplined and did not lose any. Our wedding photo looks like Ryan Reynolds is marrying Princess Fiona from Shrek. This made me insecure about my weight. It did not help that my mom and Maria kept on telling me that I needed to lose weight, or else he would leave me for someone more beautiful. The question in my mind was not if he would leave me, but when. He knows my struggles and has always been supportive and loving towards me. I went to meet him in the morning, and I have never seen him so broken. I started apologizing and crying and he was trying to calm me down for almost an hour. I told him I trusted him completely and apologized that I did not see it sooner. He just looked stone-faced. He said he knew I would trust him eventually, but he is worried about Maria. He kept checking his social media because he was scared she might post about it. He said he could not imagine what his parents, friends, and co-workers would think if they saw the accusations. He told me that we need to talk to Maria to not spread such lies. I told him in detail what Maria told me, and he told me what happened that night. He said that I fell asleep on his lap around 1:30 am. He woke me up and took me to the bedroom. He came out to say goodbye to everyone, but the party was already dying. My husband was not drunk. He generally never drinks more than 1-2 drinks ever. But Maria and her friends were very drunk. Maria wanted to take some final pictures and went to everyone and made silly poses. That was the photo she sent to my husband. She asked my husband if he could come with her to the bedroom to get some blankets and pillows for others. My husband told her he needed to check on me, and the other male co-worker volunteered to go with her and get stuff. My husband then came to the room and slept. He woke up 2 hours later and went to the restroom. He confirmed that he heard the moaning noises, but they had stopped when he came out of the restroom. We decided to talk to Maria and I invited her to our house on Saturday evening. She was shocked to see my husband with me in the house. My husband told her that she knew what she was saying was wrong and he still had the messages where she thanked him the next day. Maria got defensive and started telling me that she blacked out that night, but later slowly started to put together what happened that night since she was naked when she woke up. She asked me why she would sleep naked without locking the room door when her co-workers were in the next room. She said that she remembers my husband coming to her room and having sex with her, while she was extremely drunk. My husband told Maria that none of this happened, and she kept on insisting that she clearly remembered him naked and having sex with her. He told her, if that was true, tell me how big his penis was. She was taken aback and shouted to him, just because it was huge does not mean I enjoyed the sex, and that she was extremely drunk. I asked Maria if she was sure and she said she would never forget it. The thing is, my husband is noticeably smaller than average in that area. I am not complaining as he always gets the job done, but I knew Maria was full of shit. A screaming match began between Maria and me and I told her she was full of shit and to get out of my house. I told her that if she accused my husband, I would stand by him and tell everyone I was in the next room, and none of this happened. Maria was crying at this moment and told me to enjoy my life with a rapist. I hugged my husband, but he still looked void of any emotions. He told me not to freak out, but he had planned to visit his parents' house to reset his head before I talked to him. I wanted to be with him, but he insisted he wanted to be alone for a week and will be back on Saturday. He also called my mom to come to our house, so I am not alone. We told her what happened, and she was very angry at me. I have been talking to him all week on phone, and he plans to return tomorrow. I feel lucky and undeserving of such a good husband and cannot believe I was so close to losing him. I have not heard from Maria, but at this point, our friendship is over. Again, thanks to everyone who sent well-meaning messages to me all through the week. I truly appreciate it. I have signed up for therapy this week and hopefully will be able to be a better wife to my husband forever.
Third story.
I am still in whiplash after what happened last night when my boyfriend came over. For some context, I've been renting this room since January, so I still fairly new to everyone routine. I have a total of 3 other roommates. For the most part, everyone is very respectful of each other's space, privacy, boundaries, etc. That's why I still can believe what occurred last night. I had my boyfriend, Ricky, over because it was his off day and we just finished working out and had dinner together. We were trying to find a good movie to watch, ended up watching Spaceman. It absolutely amazing 10/10. The roommate in question is Kali. Her room is directly across from my room, with a bathroom right in between us. The first half of the issue starts when my boyfriend goes to use the bathroom. Right as he's leaving, she trying to open the door and says that she left her glasses inside. She is only wearing a towel wrapped around her because she showered not too long ago. This is important to the second part. Ricky gets out quickly and comes back to bed with me. Tells me about it and I just brush it off because the towel was wrapped around her. No big deal to me, but keep in mind that she nearly walked in on me before when Ricky was staying over. Like the door is closed, she knocks and does and wait for an answer and tries to open it. Now the second part of the incident is when I have to use the bathroom. We watching Spaceman and I have to use the bathroom and are in. As I leaving my room, I see that her door is cracked and I barely have time to react when she also steps out of her room wearing nothing. The towel that was wrapped around her prior was now only hanging in front of her. I fully saw her breasts and pubic area, so I know she was and wearing like Skims or something. She sees me, says oh, and I just in shock and I say something like, oh, do you wanna go first? I go back in my room and tell Ricky what happened. Now, I already have my opinions on why that happened and why she did what she did. My question is, what the hell do I do about it? Is the best course of action to confront her? I personally love to avoid any conflict because again, I only been living with them for a couple months and I think having a convo about seeing her naked is very uncomfortable for the both of us. One solution Ricky said was that we go to the bathroom together from now on, but I know that not exactly plausible because he has to use it much more often than I do. I really don't know how to go about having that conversation if I even need to have it, so any advice you have for me, I would really appreciate. Another question too, is it wrong for me to feel like she possibly done it on purpose? She has made it clear she very single and described my boyfriend as her type, white with tattoos and in the Navy. She talks to her other roommate how she been striking out and has and been laid in a while. There are a lot of other context where she said notable things about me and are that have me scratching my head. Update. I tried to make this as concise as possible. Just know that I am gobsmacked by what our third roomie, Elena, has told me. I texted her yesterday while we were both at work to see if it normal for that to occur. Elena said we would talk later in the evening and we did. To start off with, Kali is 37, not 27 as she has told me. Even the Facebook ad for the room said everyone is in their 20s. Come to find out that not true. Good on her because she did look older, just not 37 older. Elena has been a roommate with Kali for much longer than me. She communicated to me her shock that it happened and said Kali is more often than not drunk as hell. She an alcoholic and last night when Elena and I had our convo, Kali was drinking in her room, stumbling around and broke the shower rod in the bathroom. Elena said that Kali was drunk the night that she come out naked and our fourth roommate, Tyler, who is a male, also saw her naked when she was going into the bathroom because he was in the kitchen. From what he said, he has never seen her exposed like that. Kali, Tyler and I share the bathroom, so no, her being a nudist is not a thing. Elena also confirmed that what happened was not a normal experience and that she had never seen Kali this bad before. Some things Elena mentioned also point to Kali being low-key a pygmy. Elena has said that whenever she has a conversation with Kali, she always talking about these potential guys she talking to, these sailors who are hitting her up and lots of military guys in general. I noticed this as well when she talks to me. She has asked me to set her up with Ricky friends and co-workers, but she was adamant about not seeing these two single co-workers. In a comment I mentioned how they local, Hawaiian and Filipino, but she denied them because she likes her men white. And also, the guys that would be considered her type are our age, much younger, and a lot of them are already seeing someone. We actually hooked up one of Ricky's friends with my own girlfriend, so that was really fun. In fact, when Elena met Kali was talking about how she loved black men. Then when Elena started seeing white guys, Kali started talking about liking them too. Elena has never brought a guy home until last month because of Kali. Take that how you will. So many small details that didn't make sense in my mind about Kali finally came together when Elena started talking about her experience. Like how Kali would have the same convo over and over again with me, likely because she can remember them about Ricky, what he does in the Navy, he a master at arms, meaning he base police, and what gate he works at, how I sleep over at his place but I not supposed to, etc. This detail is only important here. Kali does work with the Navy base housing and she does have access to base. Her asking about what gate he works at was very unusual because the person you see at the gate is different every day. She asked multiple times about which gate he works at. There is also an instance that I'm pretty sure Kali was flirting with my dad when he came over to help me move a couple times. And afterwards, she said how I should let her know if my dad is coming because she didn't know that day. The next time I texted that I was coming to move, she was wearing a red strapless bodycon dress. Elena also confirmed that she remembers that and also thought it was weird because that's not what Kali usually wears at home. Everyone tells me my dad is a good-looking guy, I just don't see it. Elena, who's been renting here the longest, has said that she is able to kick Kali out but expressed that she feels bad due to her not having anywhere to go. After confiding in Elena, she agreed to initiate the convo about what happened the other night. Perhaps I will update on that later if it's substantial enough. For the people saying I insecure or trying to be controlling, I am comfortable and confident in my relationship and body. Both Kali and Elena would considered as tight, revealing clothes with no bra occasionally when Ricky is around, and I have no issue with it. I.e. never made it a problem with them or Ricky. He is always respectful to them. The issue is with the fact of nudity, when she has never done this before according to Tyler and my own knowledge. I am not objectifying nor sexualizing her body by expressing my discomfort. The whole reason why I left my prior living situation was because my old roommate, someone I trusted and lived with, had taken advantage of me when I was inebriated. When I saw her naked, I was in a shock that was similar to when I was assaulted, and I just backed out of there as fast as I could. I have told Kali what happened to me so she knows the situation. For those saying to have a threesome, Ricky has been very clear he is not interested in that with anyone, and I do not see myself consenting to that, seeing as I straight. Maybe it's some of YLL wet dream, but we can live without it. Thank you very much. I mentioned in a comment, but Ricky only comes over a couple times a week due to our conflicting schedules. He typically will stay over Wednesday and or Thursday night, and I stay with him at his place Friday and Saturday nights. I asked my roommates prior to moving in if it is okay to have overnight visitors, and they were completely okay with it. Also, he lives on base and I'm not able to go on and off without a sponsor or ID. Our routine for me to stay over is that I leave my car in a safe neighborhood. He picks me up off base and then we go on base together. Doing that throughout the work week would be difficult because he starts at 4 and I have the typical 9-5. Thanks for listening everyone. If you enjoyed today's story, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to Red Relationships to never miss a future upload.